A new selection pack has dropped on Christmas Day. It has many old selection pack cards and a few new cards. Many of them happen to be water monsters. The first up is Supreme Sea Mare. This card lets you send one aqua monster from your deck to your graveyard, and during the end phase, you can add that aqua monster to your hand. It would be great if you can add the card immediately to your hand, but that would be super broken. We can take advantage of this card in 3 ways. The first way is sending an aqua monster to the graveyard that has a graveyard effect. For example, the Tier Laments and Icejade archetype have many aqua monsters with graveyard effects. And the second way is adding an aqua monster that can be used during our opponent's turn, like Guardian Slime or Doom Kraken if you're playing Yuumi Control. The third way is to summon an extender and linking away our extender in Supreme Sea Mare to summon a Marintis Anemone, and then special summoning the aqua monster that was sent to the graveyard. This way can be used to search Jellyfish, so you can then summon any water monster from your hand. I can see Supreme Sea Mare being used in a Yuumi Control variant that involves mixing Yuumi Control with Sharks. Sharks has many extenders, allowing you to summon Marintis Anemone much more easily. Next up is Icejade Creation Aegirocassis. This is a level 7 tuner. A monster equipped with this card gains 400 attack and defense for each banished monster. The following effect is a hard once per turn. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, as a quick effect, you can target one Icejade monster you control, equip this card to that monster you control. While this card is equipped to a monster, you can special summon this card. This card can be used as a battle trap, and as a level 7 synchro monster, you can pair it with the level 3 Icejade monster to summon a level 10 synchro monster. Now there is a downside to this card in that it cannot be special summoned from being equipped the turn it is equipped, making it a very slow way to synchro summon, so it's not the biggest improvement to the deck. Next up is Icejade Curse. Icejade Curse prevents your opponent from activating monster effects the turn they are summoned, while Icejade Cosmocore prevents your opponent from activating monster effects outside the turn they are summoned. With these two cards together, your opponent will not be able to activate any monster effects at all. Icejade Curse has a second effect. When a monster is destroyed by battle involving your Icejade monster, you can target one of those destroyed monsters, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. This is another improvement for Icejades. It's not a top tier deck, but it might be enough to keep up with the other water decks. Next up is Yamatako Orochi. It's a level 1 tuner that can also be treated as a level 8 tuner if used for a synchro summon. A synchro monster that used this card as material will gain the following effects. At level 8 or lower, it gains 800 attack and defense, and level 9 or higher, it gains piercing battle damage. Because this card is a Sea Serpent, you can search this card with Deep Sea Diva, turning Deep Sea Diva into a 1-card level 10 synchro monster. You're not going to see Yamatako Orochi in many water decks, but you might see this card played in Sprites when it's released to Master Duel, because this card allows them to go into Bear and Deflore using Deep Sea Diva at the start of their combos. And next up is a fish, Rock Scales. If this card is special summoned, you can target one other face-up monster on the field, equip that face-up monster to this card. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster with the same type and attribute as the monster or card equipped by this card's effect, you can destroy that opponent's monster. You can only use this effect of Rock Scales once per turn. Rock Scales is both a non-destruction and destruction removal. It's not easy to get on the field because it doesn't special summon itself, so you'll need something like Abyss Keeper to special summon one fish from your hand, or Lantern Shark to special summon one level 3, 4, or 5 water monster from your hand. Another way to summon this card is using Whitefish Salvage. Whitefish Salvage is a continuous spell that lets you add one fish from your graveyard to your hand once per turn. When Whitefish Salvage is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, it can special summon or add to your hand any fish from your deck. Whitefish Salvage used to be a more popular card in fish decks until the release of White Mirror, which was just a better turn 1 extender. With the release of new fish monsters like Abyss Shark and Rock Scales, Whitefish Salvage can be just as viable as an extender. It's useful as a going second card to surprise your opponent if they destroy it, because then you can summon Rock Scales to remove one of your opponents by equipping it, then go into the battle phase to remove another one. The other advantage of using Whitefish Salvage over White Mirror is that White Mirror can only special summon level 4 or lower fish, but Salvage can add any fish from the graveyard to your hand. If you use Leaf Fish to send a Bishark, a level 5 fish extender, to the graveyard, you can then use Salvage to add a Bishark to your hand, activate a Bishark to add any level 3, 4, or 5 fish to your hand. If you use this effect to add Rock Scales to your hand, you can link away Abyss Shark and Leaf Fish into Abyss Keeper, special summon Rock Scales, and with Abyss Keeper's Banish effect, you'll have up to 3 ways to remove monsters. With all the ways you can search for Rock Scales, you only need 1 in your deck. This is a card you don't want in your opening hand. It's only something you want to grab out of your deck if you happen to need it. Next up is Amphibious Bugroth MK11. This card is the latest and last Yuumi support for a very long time. While Yuumi is not on the field, this card gains 700 attack, also it cannot attack directly. If Yuumi is on the field, you can target one face-up non-water monster on the field, destroy it. You can only use this effect of MK11 once per turn. This card is meant to be played in Yuumi control, but I would not recommend it. It's a very slow destruction removal, and we already have faster destruction removals in Yuumi control like Doom Kraken, Whale, and Sea Stealth Attack, all of which can destroy cards on our opponent's turn, while Slugroth MK11 can only activate on your turn. So when you flip over the trap card Dark Reef on your opponent's turn to summon 2 Yuumi monsters from the deck, there's no good reason why you would summon MK11 over any of the better Yuumi monsters in the deck. So this is a card you're only going to normal or special summon, which you would rather use your normal summon on Jellyfish and your special summons on Kairushin, so there's just no place for this card in the deck. There are many problems with Yuumi control. It needs more consistency, it needs back row hate, so I'm not sure why Konami made this card, other than it being nostalgia bait for a Yugi Boomer card. I hope this means we'll get a future archetype for Amphibious Bugroth that involves Yuumi. Let's just hope it's better than what we already have. And that's all folks, I'll see you guys later.